This review contains spoilers, so if you do not wish to be informed about the plot of this movie, you can skip ahead to this part of the video for the review summary. Was it Martha the creepy neighbor, or cringy Chris that came for the booty call? Was it Mom's rich sister Allison, or this plumber Alex narrator? Was it one of these cops, or maybe both? Was it Ed the suspicious realtor guy, or maybe Joni the realtor woman? Was it this writer-director cameo, or Martha's dead husband? Was it her, or her? Was it the ghost of Daddy Brian? Was it Tommy from the eggs and milk store? Was it Bruce or Jim, who have been named but have both been suspiciously absent? Was it this bitch, or was it one of these kids after all? Stay tuned to find out. There are many things shown in this movie with so much emphasis that you just know they're going to be plot relevant. For instance, remember when they obnoxiously showed the contact lenses before? Well, here they do it again just to make sure you didn't forget. Because guess what? It's going to come back. There are many more such unanswered questions that we expect to see explained in the finale ahead. There are some ominous sounds again to imply imminent danger, and Logan is off to find out what it is. Sorry, how does he not notice the door is wide open? Weren't they initially asked to take care of the house? How can they do that when their perception is so bad? Isn't it fucking freezing outside? I'd assume you'd at least notice a cool breeze like that. Oh, now he notices. Okay, how fun would it be if cringy Chris was parking his mom in the car right now? But no. Oh, look at that, seems like he was the first to die. Well, I mean, technically this guy beat him to it, but you know. Logan is then beaten unconscious by our mystery guest, who is clearly a ninja again because he cannot hear him approach or see his reflection in the window. I suppose there's actually a viable distraction now, but still. Oh boy, is he going to burn him alive by dousing him in gasoline? Meanwhile, Mom's sleeping when this hunk of beef joins her in bed. She must be fast asleep because she does not notice. And she wakes up, but still doesn't notice. She then takes the fastest, most silent pee ever, gets back in bed, and still doesn't notice? He's right there! He's not even under covers! Does she also have contact lenses that she's not wearing or something? I'd good a time as any to check out these pictures I took while still not noticing the other person in the bed. I can't remember taking these.
Logan.
Wait, she thought this was Logan? So wait, go back. This is in fact the mom's bedroom? She slept with the lights on? What? When was that turned off? One could argue she only just turned it off herself, but then how is she so fast asleep she doesn't notice the other guy? Okay, so mommy is captured by him, and instead of killing her, he ties her up and tortures her by breaking her fingers. He is so kind though, he leaves her a knife so she can escape. Oh hey, Logan didn't drown in all that water? It was water, by the way. It was meant to freeze him, not burn him. This is what the mom must have felt like when she went to that basement naked. Logan hurries upstairs all shaky to save mommy and uses the conveniently placed knife to free her. Gee, I wonder if this was planned.
You're gonna be fine, okay? I love you.
Remember when I said I wanted you to die? I love you, mommy. They then decided it's a great idea to call the police, so Logan goes downstairs alone to do exactly that. Yes, leave her alone knowing there is a psycho in the house, that's very smart. If calling the cops was so important, why didn't you do it earlier? Like, I don't know, when you found a dead body? No, it's fine, that happens every day.
Some kids probably did it.
Look at this shaky knife, look at him go! If I were a large, strong, and clearly well-equipped beast, I would be so scared right now. Wait, why are you going for that phone? Shocker, it's been disconnected. He used this to fuck with you before, remember? On multiple occasions, you can't really be surprised. But it's fine, they have cell phones that they just never take with them anywhere. Use those. I guess he used those to fuck with them before too, though. But then why would he go downstairs to call? Oh, but wait, he took the SIM cards out to prevent them from calling 911?
That's not a thing!
Cell phones are designed to be able to make emergency calls even when they don't have a SIM, even when they have never had a network before. Some nations have networks exempt from this, but the US is not one of them. I appreciate they're trying to work around the why don't they just call loophole by explaining why they cannot call in this particular scenario, but it does not work this way. Your explanation does not work. Why didn't he just take the phones? Because then it may not be clear to people what they tried to do, because then no phone was showed. Fine, why didn't he just smash the phones? Or if they're so hung up on removing things, why didn't they just remove the battery? There are so many easy solutions to make this bit more believable, but for now we just have to assume that our stealth assassin genius, who does not seem to make any mistakes, does not know how cell phones work. Luckily, Logan also doesn't know how cell phones work. He doesn't even try. After he viciously murders this plant and lamp, he decides he regrets his actions and wants to go back to mommy. Surprise! She's gone, but at least we hear her yell Logan and help. So Logan, with his negative perception level, immediately pinpoints the location of the scream for help and goes to the creepy basement to slay his foe with his trusty knife. The music goes silent, so jump scare in 3, 2, 1. Logan! Oh my god, the mad lad actually did it! Remember when I said I wanted you to die? Now die! Oh my god, this is probably the funniest scene in this entire movie. Well fucking done. But seriously though, what the fuck? So many questions again. Why did she yell Logan help?
Well, that's a silly question. She wanted help.
Did she though? She only said run. If that was her message, just shout run, Logan, run. It worked for Forrest Gump, so why not here? You just lured him down towards danger for no reason. Why is it so silent? She's clearly in panic. Shouldn't there be sounds of struggle? If it is this silent, you can probably still make audible noises when you try to make muffled screams. And even when you can't, she can still just resist by moving her arms and legs. The evil guy would probably have to make some sounds to prevent this from happening. And all of this is assuming that he's grasping her tight, but we can see that this is not even the case. You could argue she's not running away because she knows he'll catch her anyway, but then we're back to asking why she called Logan down in the first place. And why wouldn't she just make sounds before he turned around the corner? And why is his response to Logan stabbing? She's been yelling Logan, Logan, Logan the entire fucking movie, and now that she is in a pickle, his reaction is to stab her? Man, he really wasn't kidding when he said he wanted her to be dead. Also, did he just leave the one weapon he had in mommy? He literally just ran out of ammo, and his weapon is a knife! So he flees as per his late mom's instructions, and in his panic he apparently completely forgot that the front door is wide open, as shown constantly in previous scenes. One could be confused by the layout of the house and not be sure whether or not it would be easily accessible, because the staircase he came down from is a different one than the one next to the door. But in this scene you can see it's right there. Why not exit there? Oh, it's so this can happen. Remember those obnoxious contact lenses scenes that I've been badgering them for? Well, this is what they were made for. The big unfriendly giant captures him, holds him down, and removes them so that he cannot see anymore. That's difficult to do without pulling back your eyelids, even when they are your own eyes, let alone if they are someone else's. And he does it so delicately, as if he has been practicing. And Logan keeps his eyes open nicely so that he can. What the fuck? Okay, man, whatever you say. Logan complies once again and runs out into nowhere, expertly dodging bushes and branches that he obviously can't see, since we're shown what his vision is like. He does trip over everything and falls multiple times only to reach this log he then hides behind. Okay, all you need to do is hold out there until he gives up. Easy. Wait, what is she doing there? Isn't it the middle of the night? Is she involved? Is this supposed to imply that she might be the bad guy? We've seen his silhouette and heard his voice. In that list from earlier, we can scrap a lot of them based on new information, including her. Did he hide because he saw her and was afraid it was him? You can see shapes and colors, and it must be possible to discern the two by logic, but let's just assume he couldn't tell it was her.
Goodbye now.
Okay, so it's day now and he's still running, which we saw him do on that weird day, so obviously he can. Even though this time he's all frozen and he could barely hold a knife or walk down a staircase earlier, but sure. He finds some water and takes a rest. No clue where he is, and there is no sign of the evil guy. Psych, he's there anyway. Why are you shouting? You know he won't budge. Fight back, try to escape, or just be happy it's over. Why is this here? We don't need to see him being dead. It was heavily implied, you don't need to show this. The only logical reason to show him is if he would still be alive. Alternatively, don't show him being murdered, end the dumb chase with him sitting near a tree, and leave it to the unknown whether he succumbed to hypothermia or was strangled by the killer conveniently tracking him. But don't show both, it's just not needed. Wait, so that's it? No dramatic face reveal, no explanation, nothing? Just a sign implying he's stuck in open houses? That's the whole plot? All these other plot hooks were just red herrings to distract us from the fact that it was all just random, unconnected bullshit? Come on. I mean, I understand the concept of an open ending, but why like this? Why throw out so many plot devices that either do nothing or are meant to support a stupid detail in an otherwise bland character? This has turned into a mediocre whodunit, and we don't even get to see who done it. If this was your plan, why not just make a short movie without the incredibly unnecessary plot surrounding the father? He didn't need to be in this. He's completely irrelevant. Remove the start, just mom, kid, house, creepy stuff. Oh no, it's a dude, now you die. The end. 20 minutes, maybe 30, that's all you needed for the concept. To avoid confusion, I'm not mad that the main characters died. I've seen some reviews that were like, the main characters can't always survive, deal with it, 10 stars. Implying that the only bad thing others noted about the movie is that the main cast didn't get away. The fact that you don't mind them dying does not make this a perfect movie. I didn't mind at all. As I said, I didn't even think the characters were likable. Who was sad when the mom died? Right, no one. Not even Logan. Or at least I'd assume he killed her, remember? So, did the finale answer all the questions? Let's check the obvious plot devices. The Olympic running theme was all over the place, inconsistent, didn't really matter in the end, so no. The contact lens thing, yes, it was for this wild detail. Daddy dying and daddy flashbacks? Nope, he just did, super redundant. The senile old neighbor. The dark basement. Yes, definitely an important location for the movie. The suspicious acting realtors. Nope, never heard from them again. The photography hobby. Sure, how else would you have noticed him here? Cringy Chris. He added to the death count, I suppose, sure. The leading motive of the whole movie, who was behind all this? No. That's a very mediocre and unsatisfying outcome, especially considering that last no. I wonder what the cops would say if they found these bodies.
Some kids probably did it.
Wouldn't it be a funny twist if the bad guy was actually two kids standing on each other's shoulders, wearing an overcoat, pretending to be an adult? 10 out of 10 would watch. So, that was the open house, which was okay, but I still ended up being overwhelmed by disappointment. It was kind of entertaining, mostly on account of some scenes that were meant to be serious, but turned out to be crazy funny instead. The writing and directing felt kinda sloppy. It's definitely not the worst plot, but the execution was bad, which kinda puts the potential to waste. I would not recommend watching this for the storyline. The acting wasn't bad per se. In some cases it was even pretty good. The characters didn't feel interesting though, and especially Logan was very monotonous with the exception of one or two scenes. Also, both him and his mom were oftentimes acting scared and cautious well before anything noteworthy happened that would cause such behavior, as if they knew they were in a horror movie, which kinda takes away their credibility. But my main complaint about them is that neither of them were likable. I was just annoyed or frustrated with them and everything they did most of the time, though that's partially on the writers. The horror aspect of the movie was a tricky one. The gore is very minimal, and the scares were mostly just very predictable jump scares. The music wasn't bad overall, but it just felt off a lot. Like, it was sad when things weren't sad, or scary when nothing happened. They were able to create an ominous atmosphere though, and throughout the movie there were a lot of unanswered questions that could keep you wondering or interested. For me, it was a miss in that aspect since I felt it went on for too long, and I just got annoyed with most of the characters before the final sequence. But the psychological horror aspect may be considered decent even though it did not do much for me. The most redeeming quality in this movie was a number of unintentionally funny scenes, which gave it some entertainment value. All things considered, I would rate this 5 out of 10, as it was just not scary enough to be a proper horror movie, and just not funny enough to be a proper comedy. But nevertheless, it's not a terrible thing to watch at a movie night, I suppose. So, that was my very first review. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm planning to make more, so let me know what you think about this review to help me further entertain you in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.